Let's talk about air conditioners because I keep reading that they're changing again. What's going on with air conditioners?
This is Las Vegas Real Estate Now with local real estate expert Harvey Blankfeld.
Well, we've come on and talked for a while now, haven't we, about the coming changes and a new generation
Right.
of ACs, and it's been mandated for a new type of Freon for global warming to
Right.
meet standards. The big news, I guess, is that we're seeing them now. So beginning in the last few months, we're seeing new units installed in the field that are the new generation and have the new type of Freon installed in them
Okay.
now. So now we have, when you're out looking at houses, there's any of probably 3 or 4 different generations
Wow. Yeah.
and types of Freon and units that you may see out there. So so we are seeing those new ones coming. So
when you're doing inspection, you're going to pay special attention to what level or what generation of air conditioner you're dealing with, so that the buyer's aware of what
Yeah.
the potential costs are to repair.
Yeah, you really need to know. So if you bought a new unit maybe last year, that's not the latest generation anymore. Now, is that necessarily a bad thing? I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not, because the new generation, I mean, we really don't know if it's going to work as well.
Yeah.
It is flammable, which is an interesting side effect. We've never had that before. So
Oh, really?
We'll see how that works out, but I'm sure it'll be fine. I mean, they
Oh,
said
yeah.
it'll be fine.
Be fine.
You say that about a lot of things. It's going to be good. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Don't look over here. It'll be fine.
Yeah. So if
Don't smoke by your air conditioning unit. That's basically.
Yeah, I mean, like some of the ACs, some of the older ACs are just like tanks. They just last forever. The newer ones are probably not going to last as long, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And that's by design to a
Well,
certain
the
extent.
interesting thing is on what you just said. My previous place that I lived was a little townhouse, and the ACs were right by the front door of the gate, so you could always kind of see which they were, and you knew which ones the original ones were.
Right.
Well, this is 5 years ago that I got rid of the place, but there was a bunch of places or units in there that had the original AC, and it was built in 1990.
Wow.
So those were, almost 30 years old.
Yeah.
25 years old.
35 years old.
Or
Yeah.
25, 35, whatever the number is.
Right.
But and they didn't change them, and because they worked. The unit that we were in had the original, and it worked. It cooled the entire house.
It's funny. Sometimes when a buyer buys a home and they see that the air conditioner is old, they request it be replaced, which is kind of a silly request, but they do because they're saying, well, this thing's going to go eventually. Well, that's not a standard we're going to try to live by. A lot of things in the house are going to go eventually.
all gonna break,
So
yeah.
let's just replace the roof. So it becomes a challenge in the transaction to make sure that the buyer understands. Yeah, if it's working, let it work. And you know what? You might be surprised. This thing may last another 10, 15 years, maybe longer than the new one you're going to replace it with.
Right.
It's a possibility. And now you may have challenge with getting the right Freon for. That's another story. But yeah, so there's always that question of, gee, when's it going to go? Which is, why we talk about home warranties too, to make sure you protect your downside. But
Yeah, and that's what we try to educate people on when they're looking at a home. So we want to find out what exactly it is. Is it the oldest kind? Is it the newer kind? Is it in between somewhere?
right.
And find that out. But you're right. You don't know. And people always ask that question. Well, how long is it going to last? It's like, who knows, right?
Yeah.
It's a combination of maintenance. Because a lot of times you'll see maybe a homeowner that has had current maintenance records. Maybe, like the oil changes in their car, they have like literally every 6 months they have a maintenance record for the
Right.
system, and it's clean and
Yeah.
it's working good and it sounds great.
Right.
That may be a different situation than you look at a 20-year-old unit that looks like it's never been touched, right? It just looks terrible and it's dirty and it sounds bad.